Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to actually, first we're going to look at our footage. If you take a look at the footage, you look at the video and everything like that, you can see actually that there, I mean, it's okay. It's not too bad, but there's really, the whole idea is that the punchline is supposed to be that he gives a scratch, a scratching an itch kind of thing, a rash, to Jim Bob. Well, he's not scratching. Our actor is having a little trouble with the directions. You can see here that he's not doing that. He's fidgeting a little bit. So what we're going to need to do is we need to add in more scratching. Okay, so we're going to delete this cross dissolve because we're going to put in a reaction shot, an environmental shot, I should say, probably both, in here. So I'm going to click on the cross dissolve and hit delete. See how I was able to delete that cross dissolve? Then I'm going to hit the down arrow, and that puts my playhead exactly in between these two shots. That's where I'm going to put in my environmental and reaction in order to try to build this up a little bit more. Now I'm going to go look for an environmental shot over here in the project, and I'm looking for 5E. Now I've already looked through these 5Es, and they're not that great. And okay, so you'll notice he's scratching. He's facing the wrong way. The wall is in behind them and everything like that, and he's also not talking. So how can we fix this? Well, first of all, I'm actually going to find this take one right here, and they say action, and he's scratching away. Alright, and what I'm going to do is I just want some of that scratching. I'm going to hit the letter I for in, scratch, 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 and O for out. Then I'm going to take this and I'm going to insert it in between these two. Now watch what happens over here. I'm going to zoom in a little here on my timeline so that you can see when I pick insert, it shoves over. Do you see that? If I picked overwrite, it goes over top of it and it deletes that part of it. I don't want overwrite. I want insert. It pushes everything over. Okay? Good. Now, what we have is this. Except it doesn't really work, does it? Okay? So, oh, I didn't hear the word cut. All right, so we're going to do two things. Let me show you this. First of all, I'm going to zoom in on it. So we can zoom in like this. Going to double click. So now, whatever I edit is up here, and I'm going to adjust. See how I clicked on effects controls right here? Click on effects controls. And I'm going to go to scale. I'm going to hover over top of 100. See how it changes the arrow or the cursor to these arrows? I'm going to click and I'm going to zoom to the right. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to double click on the picture over here in the program window, and I'm going to zoom in there. Now see the bottom of the video is there, so I'm going to put that right on the end. Okay, and now I have zoomed in, and it's showing me a zoom in. He is scratching. Okay, now you'll also hear the word cut. I don't like that. Right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick the razor blade tool. See this guy right here? It's the razor blade tool. See how the shortcut is the letter C for cut? That's handy, isn't it? So I'll go just before, and you can see in the sound file right where the director says cut. So I'm going to put my playhead right before that. Whoops. Zoom out now. Okay. And I hit the letter C for the razor blade tool, and I'm going to chop it there. I have to actually cut both on the video and the audio. I hit the letter V for my move tool, and I'm able to select these guys now. See how I changed from to the selection tool right here, the move tool? I've got this part selected. I don't want it anymore. Well, I can hit delete on the keyboard. Boom, it's gone. But I've got this big space right here of nothingness. This is so cool. If you click in the nothing, you can delete it. I hit delete and everything moves over. That is so useful. Okay, so let's watch what we have. All right, so, and I can also tell, so I'm gonna need to cut this awkward pause out, I think. Let me try though a reaction, and I'm going to go in and I'm going to try to find a 5R that works. Okay, so I found a 5R that I might be able to use. Unfortunately, for all the 5Rs, she spends a lot of the time looking at the camera. See here like this, but there is a moment where she looks away, right here. Right here. And so I'm going to, as soon as we get that darkness out, there. I'm going to hit the letter I for in, and oh, she looked back at the camera. I'm going to back up, and there, and O for out. It's just a short little thing. Option K plays from in to out, just shows where she's at right here, and I'm going to grab this guy. Notice that my playhead is right here. Okay, so this is during the itching part. I'm going to hit the down arrow. Takes me to the end of this cut. I'm going to drag it over and say insert. Pushes everything over. So let's see the whole thing now. Okay, talking, itching, she's weirded out, and I'm going to need to cut it right here where he starts talking. So back to the razor blade tool, which is C for cut. I'm going to cut on the video and the audio, hit the letter V for the move tool, and highlight these guys, delete, and delete the empty space. So there it is. I'm going to hit the up arrow 1, 2, 3 times. Okay. He's scratching. She's weirded out.
Itching is unbelievable.
Alright, so now I believe that the itching is unbelievable a little bit more. Okay. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to put in your reaction shots and environmentals for shot 5.